Fewer Tennessee students are enrolled in public schools right now than before the pandemic. We are looking at the national, state, and local trends and how those numbers could affect state funding for those schools.
10 News reporter Olivia Daig is joining us now. And Olivia, you spoke with a professor at the University of Tennessee who says the year after the pandemic, public school enrollment dropped significantly.
Brittany, Robin, that 2020 to 2021 school year, enrollment dropped 2 to 3% nationwide, and it's the same story here in Tennessee. Right after the pandemic, Tennessee saw 23,000 fewer students from 2020 to 2021. Now that number has almost recovered, but that doesn't sound like a lot. But this professor explained it is significant because enrollment usually sees a gradual increase because the population is growing.
More and more people are moving to the volunteer state.
Overall, Tennessee is experiencing an influx of new residents moving from other parts of the country.
What about the skull?
But statewide, public school enrollment is down. There are 4,000 fewer students enrolled in 2024 compared to 2018.
There was a pretty sharp decline in public school enrollment nationwide of the year after the pandemic.
Professor Celeste Carruthers researches education policy and economics at UT.
A lot of parents and their kids were substituting away from public schools and looking into other options during the pandemic.
She says low birth rates and older people moving here are also factors.
Tennessee school districts kind of followed that pattern in that enrollment tended to fall that first full school year after the pandemic started, or at least kind of held steady rather than growing.
You never get sick.
In Knox County, it was the same. Population dipped in 2021. Now they have just 150 more students than they did in 2019.
We did 4 levels.
School districts get funding from enrollment numbers called the Tennessee Investment in Student Achievement, or TISA formula. It's complex, but this year it starts with a base formula where districts get $7,295 per student to start. So for example, if a school district loses 50 students, they also lose $365,000 in base funding.
I also asked this professor about other trends she's seen. Now, in some school districts in East Tennessee, like Alcoa, Maryville, and Oak Ridge, enrollment has actually increased since the pandemic. She also said student achievement measured through TCAP scores also followed this enrollment trend. It dipped during the pandemic and has increased slowly.